Hello Internet, you are watching Code Diver Tutorials, and today I'll be teaching you how to use GIMP, the graphics manipulation program, a free open source alternative to Photoshop. And if you've ever used these programs for any length of time to edit images, at some point you've had an element on your page where you needed to measure its length, or maybe the angle of a line. How do you do that? Well, you use the measuring tool. Where's the measuring tool? Is over here on the tool palette, and the icon is this little measuring compass. And you'll notice from the tooltip that you can call up the measuring tool wherever you are by pressing Shift and M. But for simplicity's sake, you can also just use your mouse pointer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on the icon for the measuring tool, and you'll notice right away that the cursor has changed its appearance. It looks like a targeting reticle with a little icon of a simplified compass next to it. That's because the measuring tool is activated. So this is how you know the measuring tool has been called up. And the way you take measurements is by placing the reticle over a starting point of your measurement, clicking with the right mouse button, and then dragging a line to the end point of your measurement to drop another marker, and then releasing the mouse button, and that will take your measurement. So let's measure the length of this canvas here. You'll notice that as soon as I click the right mouse button, a orange cross appears in the middle of the targeting reticle. That tells you a cursor has been dropped. And now as I drag to the end point of my measurement, a line is painted in between the crosses. And right around there, I'm going to drop the ending marker for my measurement. And now we've drawn a rule. But how do you tell how many pixels have been measured? Well, look to the bottom of your screen, follow my mouse, and at the very bottom of your screen, you will see the compass icon for the measuring tool. And to the right, you'll see a number. So it says 1277.0 pixels. That's how long the rule I drew was. So that's the distance in pixels from starting reticle to the ending reticle. Also, to the right of that, you'll see 0.04 degrees. What does that mean? That is referring to the angle of the measuring rule. And what the 0.04 tells me is that I didn't draw a completely straight line. When you see 0.00 degrees, that tells you that you've drawn a perfectly straight line. So watch out for that. It can throw off your measurement. Yeah, and that's about it. So here's an extra tip before I go. You may find that as you're drawing these lines, actually let me back up real quick. Notice how when I move the reticle around, the ending reticle around the starting reticle, you see a circle is being drawn. That's because it's measuring angle. So there's 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, roughly. So that's what I meant earlier when I said the measuring tool can be used to measure angles. And you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, as I move the measuring tool around, it's measuring the angle in real time. So right there, 0 degrees. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it says 0.00 degrees. And then when I move above 0, the number increments up. And I move down, the number also increments up. So that's how you can measure an angle. Another point about the measuring tool is that it can be hard to draw a straight line. And most of the time, people are trying to measure straight lines. So how can you use the measuring tool to assist you in drawing straighter lines for your measurements? Hold the Control key, and that will cause the line to snap to invisible grid points on your canvas. So here's how the measuring tool paints the rule when I'm not using Control. It's very fluid, but that fluidity is a setback because if I'm trying to follow the straight line at the top of this canvas, sometimes my hand will deviate, or the cursor sensitivity will just be too high. But once I hit Control, see how the line snaps there? snaps to the nearest straight grid line, and now it's much easier to draw a straight line. I'm not even trying that hard. So that's how you can take measurements, measure angles, measure pixels, and draw straight lines using the GIMP's measuring tool. I hope you found this useful. If you'd like to get more tutorials like these, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.